everyone, this is Meg back with another video today, and today I am going to be talking about how we can be kind to ourselves in our learning journeys. So most of the time, most of these videos are about learning, about kindness, about growing, and those are seemingly some of the themes that are emerging from my videos. So this morning I was doing some stuff around the house, having a little chat with myself in my head, which I know most of us do a lot throughout our days. And one of the things I really want for you to take away from this video is how can we get curious about the conversations we're having with ourselves. So some of that self-talk stuff. Over the past 5 months, I think, or 6 months, I have been in a learning journey, on a process to develop a part of my business that I've always wanted to. I have been incredibly proud of myself in terms of my growth and how I've stretched, and it has also been hard sometimes. It's been learning that is really about taking action and doing, and it's less about knowing things, and it's more about knowing some things and then putting them into practice and taking action. And at times that's felt really challenging for me. I've not always felt confident to do it. So over the past week or so, I've really tried to take myself into the next gear in a way, to get into more action and to try to build some habits so that things feel a bit easier and that I can think a bit less, that I can get caught less in the conversation about should I do this now, should I do something else, and more that sense of building a habit and a practice. The good news is I can see how a habit around this would be easier, so that felt exciting. And one of the things I said to myself this morning was, oh, I wish I'd pushed a bit harder a couple months ago. I wish I'd pushed myself a bit harder a couple months ago. And because I care a lot about language, because I care a lot about self-talk and how we can be really kind to ourselves, when I said that phrase to myself, some alarm bells went off for me. I was like, wait, hold on a minute, Meg. I don't think that's a fair assessment. And I got really curious about it. And here's the thing. When I say I wish I'd pushed myself a little bit harder a few months ago, there is actually a good intention behind that, and I'll come to that in a minute. But on the surface, my sense is it feels a bit judgmental. It feels a bit harsh. It's like, oh, you could have done more. You could have done more a couple months ago. You should have worked harder. That's the tone I feel when I hear that phrase to myself. So that was a key, and this would be an invitation for you to consider when you say the stuff you say to yourself day in and day out. Does it feel encouraging? Does it feel compassionate? Does it feel kind? Or does it feel a bit judgy, a bit like your inner driver is saying, do more, work harder? So that's the first invitation. Get curious about that. So good news for me this morning. I had this sense of, oh, hang on a minute. I'm not going to go down that pathway of kind of thinking like, oh, hindsight's 2020. And, yeah, I could have worked harder a couple months ago. And the reason is I can remember the version of me a couple months ago who was working really hard. I was doing my job. We had family stuff going on. I had visitors from out of town. Christmas was, there. I was facilitating. So when I look back with a clear head to me a couple months ago, I was doing my best. I really was. And I think a lot of times we just fail to give ourselves credit for the fact that most of us are showing up in the best way we can for ourselves every day and doing our best with the skills and the tools and the knowledge we have at that time. So if, for instance, today you're listening to this and you're not where you want to be in terms of a goal yet, or you feel like you've done something that hasn't lived up to your expectations, please be kind to yourself. You're doing your best. So that's the first thing I want to say is really be kind, get curious about the self-talk. Is it a bit judgmental? If so, put a big old timeout in there and just say, hang on a second, I don't want to go down a judgmental route with myself. Now, the second thing that was interesting is I think the reason I could say this to myself, oh, I wish I'd pushed myself a bit more, is underlying that is a very positive message. And once I got curious about it and dug a bit deeper, I feel that the message I was trying to say to myself there was, I am capable. I can do this. And that is wonderful. Like, that's the sort of stuff I want to be telling myself. I'm capable. I can do it. Keep going. And it's just to really notice the difference between I'm capable, I can do it, keep going, believe in myself, versus, oh, I wish I'd pushed a bit harder a couple months ago. So that's the key thing I thought was kind of cool to notice for myself this morning. The other reason that I now feel capable is because I've done some things that has actually built my confidence, that has proven to me that I am capable. Honestly, 3-4 months ago, I didn't have that experience. I didn't have that proof. I didn't have that evidence. So that's why for me this morning, this sense of, oh, I wish I'd pushed harder is so judgmental, because it's being unkind to that version of me 3 or 4 months ago who was still a learner and who hadn't yet taken the action, who hadn't yet built the capability or developed the belief, the proof, the evidence that I could do it. So that's the second thing to notice is like confidence comes, our self-belief builds when we take action, when we learn from it, when we grow, and we can then say, hey, actually, I am capable of doing that. I've done it. I've done it a few times. And what's more exciting for me today is to think, if I keep going, if I keep applying myself in the same way, in a month, wow, things will be a little bit easier. There'll be less friction. It'll feel smoother for me. And I imagine my confidence will have grown even more in 1 month, in 3 months, in 6 months. So it's been a bit of a storytelling journey I've taken you on today into my own kind of thought process. But I think the three key things to think about are noticing your own self-talk. Is it kind? Is it loving? Is it encouraging? Is it supportive? Or is it a bit judgmental, harsh? Would you say that to a friend? That sort of thing. The second thing is be kind to the version of you that's gone before you. He or she was doing his or her best in that moment. They were doing what they could to do their best to get through. And then the third thing, I've kind of lost track of it and forgotten about it. Actually, no, it's that if you keep going, your confidence will grow. So confidence comes from doing, and believe in yourself. That as you take action, you will increase your confidence. I hope this was helpful. If you would like to learn more about working with me, my big area of focus is around helping people live with more balance, ease, and joy. And I'd love to talk to you to see if I could help you with that. I'm at meglyons.com, and you can book a call to have a chat with me and see if I could help you to have more balance, ease, and joy. Take care for now, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.